Now on, I think it's number 33 in the book. It's called a transgender, whatever. Well, now we turned that into the state about 4 or 5 months ago, and because they asked us, and all of the jails in Kentucky have actually are doing that right now. What we put out for doing it, but anyway, I appreciate y'all.
Good.
Whatever.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Jailer Watkins? None? I guess we just need a resolution, right, John?
Just need a motion to approve the
Yeah.
document that's submitted by the jailer.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the
Okay.
documents, the process or policies and process manual,
I'll second that.
procedures manual.
But let me say something here just a minute. I worked on this thing, I know, for hours and hours and hours. I worked about 45 minutes at night on it. I get tired of reading it, and I'd go back and I'd put it down to the next night, and I just kept going over and over and over and everything. And I put a lot of hours in all this information. That's how much is all here, and it's front and back. But the deal with all the things with the detention center and the general conduct and current rules and everything, I kind of brought it up to kind of the last thing I wanted to say here in regards to it. It says, important element for the detention center employees is to exercise discretion in a wide variety of circumstances. Clearly written rules and standards can help the detention center employees by setting very definite limits on discretion. When the detention center employees know exactly what they are required to do or are prohibited from doing, then the exercise of discretion becomes easier because it is clear. It is a role and policy procedure to further guide the Bullitt County Detention Center employees, providing general directions with discretionary areas. It's there's a lot there, but just to kind of sum that thing up and everything, I appreciate what you're doing, Paul, because it's a lot and everything to this and everything, but I just want to bring that up to the highlight there and everything, that of all the things I read and everything, and it kind of sums it up for me. But I appreciate what you're doing, and so I'm ready to vote on it too if y'all are.
Yeah, thanks a lot too, because we brought this up several meetings ago, and we've encouraged all departments. I don't know at this point if we've received something from every department, but, you know, that's gonna be a big push moving forward, and by you coming on board, we're really excited about that. So it's something that can be amended, changed, in the future. But having some type of guideline is something that's imperative, and thank you for putting time to, make this happen.
It's hard to know what to do if nobody tells you how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's got any questions, all you gotta do is get that
Thank you,
book.
Paul.
Yeah. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you all, and again, I need y'all to come where I would need. I would like for you all to give me 20, 30 minutes of your time. The judge come over one day and spend a pretty good deal of time. I'm sure that he learned a lot and whatever, and all of y'all are welcome to come over. There's a few things that I guess I'd run by you, whatever, and that way you can just look at me and say, what's going on here today, and I'll tell you. So anyway.
Well, now we know you like us, so we won't put us in jail. We might
I
come
never
over
said
and
I
visit.
didn't like you. I love you, man. You all mean good.
But just remember, I did give you 5 hours right here, and that's a lot, and I do appreciate that. You're not to see me, but I was doing this anyway.
You're a quicker reader than I am, then, Dennis.
Well, I can
Okay,
go right on with it. Nobody's bothering me. I can keep going.
all right, okay. Sam, call the roll.
Mr. Rahal?
Yes.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Mr. Loxton?
Yes.
Mr. Laswell?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Number 11, action is requested to appoint Stuart Lee to the Bullitt County Sanitation District, term to expire July 7th, 30th, 2020. Yeah. Any discussion, I'm making the motion to appoint Stuart to the, because we have a vacancy right now.
Second your motion.
Got a second by 3rd District Magistrate Laswell. Sam, call the roll.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Mr. Loxton?
Yes.
Mr. Laswell?
Yes.
Mr. Rahal?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
That sounds pretty good.
There you go. We're tabling number 12. Number 13, actions requested to surplus obsolete sound equipment from the Judge Executive's office, and see the attached list.
I'll make a motion, we surplus the obsolete sound equipment from Judge Executive's office.
Second.
Got a second Got a motion by Second District Magistrate Logston and a second by Fourth District Magistrate Ray Hill to surplus the obsolete sound equipment from the Judge Executive's office. Sam, call the roll.
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Mr. Logston?
Yes.
Mr. Laszlo?
Yes.
Mr. Rahal?
Yes.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Number 14, we have a request from the Sheriff's Office. The list has been attached to surplus property from the Sheriff's Office as well.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion by First District Magistrate Mitchell, a second by Second District Magistrate Logston to surplus the attached list from the Sheriff's Department of property to be surplus. Sam, call the roll.
Mr. Logston?
Yes.
Mr. Laszlo?
Yes.
Mr. Rahal?
Yes.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Actions requested. Sheriff Scholler, Walt, please, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, Judge.
To the podium to request on the sheriff's budget for 2020.
And what I have presented, and I believe I sent copies over last week for each of you all, and it is the general term order, which will, if you all approve it, and I'm here to answer whatever questions I may that you may have, but it's the same manner that has been done since we have become a 70,000 and above county. And the budget that I'm requesting that you authorize us to spend allocated funds for is $6,663,060.53. Secondarily, there is also attached the form for budget cumulative quarterly report and annual settlement for calendar year 2020, which again is the same fashion and form that has been used as long as I can remember. We would request that you authorize us to do that, and if you'll note, approximately 5,800 or 5,800,000 or so of the dollars that we're requesting of that is taken up by employee expense.
Right.
Well, from last year, I mean, what percentage has the runs and the things, how much has it gone up from last year to this year, the past year and the year before? What I'm talking about, the arrests that's made, from the DARE program, the accidents that y'all dealt with, everything you've dealt with, what percentage has that gone up from the previous year?
In terms of what percentage has it gone up in terms of revenue, or what percentage?
No, not the revenue. I'm not talking about revenue. I'm talking about the work and everything that y'all have performed.
Oh, it's.
I know it increases every year.
Now, I don't have that in front of me in such detail. I've got a report. Here's what I expect to do. I'm putting together currently an annual report that I intend to submit to the court and to the people of the county before the end of the first quarter of 2020. For the end of March, I intend to publish an annual report of what the Sheriff's Office has done for the year 2019. Our arrests, our citations, different things of that nature, I've been keeping track of it, I've got it, but I would be remiss if I tried to quote you numbers right now, Dennis, our percentages, because I darn sure don't want to say a number and have it be less or this or that, but I will be submitting that to the court. I will tell you that the crime rate overall, we have gotten, like for instance, burglaries down this year. And I'm determining, is it just because God smiled on Bullitt County in 2019, or is it because we've gotten folks more out into the community, i.e. folks being our patrol deputies? I don't know for sure, but I know I have gotten the deputies further out into and spending more time out in the county as opposed to spending time in Mount Washington, Shepherdsville, and so forth, because those departments are doing an outstanding job of policing the communities they have the jurisdiction over. And I've been working to try to get our guys more out into the unincorporated areas of the county. I know burglaries are down. The exact percentage, I'm not prepared to say today because I don't want to say it and then it not be exactly correct. But I can tell you that they are down. We're dealing more and more and more every year with having to deal with whether it be the 13th or the 16th largest city in the country, Louisville. Crime is expanding out. Drug cartels, for instance, there's no question in my mind, and the information I get both from the FBI and the DEA, drug cartels aren't coming to Bullitt County, they're here. They're in Louisville, they're in Hardin County, and they're doing work, and we're doing more things to combat that. There's things that we're doing that I'm not, that it would be inappropriate for me to go into detail in a public setting as to what some things that we are doing to combat the drug problem from a investigative and enforcement standpoint. But there are things, and I'll be more than happy, as Paul said, I'm going to try to do a better job in 2020 of making sure that I see to it that I give you all an opportunity to sit down and talk with me on a very regular basis so that I can keep you informed of what's going on with the sheriff's office and steps that we're taking and things that we're taking, because as I hope you've gotten the feeling, I feel very much I am nothing more than one of the partners with you all in providing law enforcement for the people of Bullitt County. So I know I didn't answer your question, but I hope you understand that I gave you an answer, that I'm going to give you an answer.
Well, that's what I was getting at and everything. You could give me a percentage and everything at the end of the quarter based on what you've done last year in that first quarter compared to what you're doing in this next quarter and everything. That would tell me how it's going. I do have to say that I am seeing the officers out there. I'm out there every day. Somewhere 7 days a week I'm out there maybe dealing with something and everything. And I do see the officers out there that I didn't see before. And I do appreciate that. But I just kind of wanted to touch a little bit on that.
And again, that's another thing. I receive a report from my patrol captain, for you all may remember, I was able to convince John Mills to come to work with us. John is retired from the Louisville Metro Police Department. He's also retired from the United States Army, retired as a major, and saw his 22 years in the military, Army Reserve. He spent 13 of them on active duty, deployed here and there and around, and retired as a major. John is the son of our former chief of the county police, Carol Mills, and grew up in Bullitt County. He's Bullitt County born and bred, and he's doing an outstanding job as our patrol captain, and he gives me a report. He gives me a report weekly. My intent is, and if I'm not doing it, you remind me that I said I would, and I'll put a boot in my tail, because my intent is to give you all a monthly report of the stuff that I get from him weekly,
Okay,
going forward.
all right.
Appreciate that.
Any other discussion on Sheriff Schiller's budget for 2020?
Sheriff, I know you probably don't know that number either, but how many deputies do you have on the ground compared to officers?
I'm 5 deputies down right now. I need 5 deputies, and I have currently, and we've got some in the process. We go through a very detailed background check, this, that, and the other, when we take lateral deputies or people that apply from the get-go. We're scheduled right now to send, we've got one deputy one young man who's currently working as a CCSO that we have gotten tacit approval from DOCJT to attend the DOCJT's Police Academy later in the spring. Other than that, we've hired laterals, and I've got some that are in process. I've got, I think, 2 that are in process right now of our conducting our background checks and so forth. But currently, I am 3 down from what was here in prior administrations. And I hope to get that done, squared up. And then, in addition, I don't want to, if it takes, what I have tasked my command staff with is, you tell me what the minimum is that you have to have to properly patrol this county. And I want to have 10% more than what that minimum necessary is. I've got in my mind right now that the number that I need is 22 patrol deputies. And we don't have that right now, but I've got I believe that I can make that happen. We've saved in 2020, we saved a significant amount of money that had been previously spent on salaries and so forth on deputies, and part of it is we took advantage in 2019 of a law that had not been taken advantage of previously, in that if we hire somebody that is a retired employee from another police agency, the employer, being the sheriff's office, which is funded by the fiscal court, does not have to pay that hazardous duty retirement match if we categorize that employee as a retired contract employee. Okay, now for paperwork wise, they have to sign on for 1 year, but we sign them on year to year to year. But that saves us, in 2019 to begin with, it was saving us 38% of their salary. In 2020, that's going up to, by June, that figure will go up to, we have to match every hazardous duty employee we, the employer, have to match their salary with 44% of what their salary is. We have to send up to the CERS. So I currently have 7 folks that we have taken advantage of the training and the experience that they've gotten from various other police agencies